somebody said, why are you
ìyá àbùkù mi ni o ọmọ máa lọ ní ilé láì wọ bra ìyá àbùkù mi báwo lè yóò ṣe máa lọ ní ọkùnrin ilé onílé ọkùnrin tó níyàwó ilé máa lọ ní wọn láì wọ bra ẹ̀jẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ẹnìdí ó láìkí máa lọ kí máa pariwo tó mẹ́sẹ̀jì wo lẹ̀ ń tẹ́ láti passport kan lọ́kọ ẹ máa pariwo ẹ ń lọ ní ó lé láì wọ bra. Daddy, kílẹ̀ rí sísà. Ó fẹ́ jọkọ̀ lọ́kọ̀. Ọlọ́yọ̀ lé láì wọ bra. Ìgbà bá yẹ bẹ̀wò ó lè má wọ pátá. Alákòóbá ni yàbù.
And welcome back, and the program is still For the Record, and I'm still with OYEMYKKE, social commentator. OYEMYKKE, I know you are into acting. You are getting into acting pretty soon.
Yeah. That's the dream. I'm producing and directing and into just the film world.
Okay.
By the grace of God.
Enjoying it?
It's been a journey. I feel like the journey to success is very on that top.
In fact, remember we were talking about this time last year, and I think your prominence now has been meteoric, no doubt about that.
What's that English? I don't know. What is meteoric?
If you don't come,
okay.
In that period, and you've been out there, and you've had your ups and downs. Obviously,
yeah.
Social media. We won't talk about that. I think we're not gonna delve into that. But now you're a father, and once you become a parent, the perspective changes. Which actually what made it perfect to have this this topic, because somebody who is out there, number one, you're out there, you see a lot of these things. You have numbers that listen to you. In fact, that is what your motivational chats, your 1 minute chats every morning, a lot of people look for. I listen to it every morning. And we have somebody on hold. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Have we lost him or her? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, I just wanted to round up on the conversation about this issue. So you think the power pyramid structure in the African or the black family needs to be readdressed?
Yeah, and it's not just in the UK, even in Nigeria. It's just that it's not really well told in Nigeria. It's just black everywhere. It's not just in the UK, even in America. Anywhere black people, it's just black family pyramid. When that is solved, then we go into re-education.
So you've talked about where you think the women are at fault in terms of...
No, nobody. It's just miscommunication.
Yeah. So they come into a system and perhaps adopt what obtains in that system. And remember, though, that's kind of like your environment conditions you.
Yes.
It holds to logic to actually live by the environment you're in,
Yeah.
Because the children you're raising most likely didn't grow up back home.
Yes, they didn't grow up back home. Yeah.
So most of the time you have to strike some kind of balance as a diasporan.
Yes,
true. You have to strike a kind of balance, between your original culture
and where you are
and
now.
the new culture that you are raising your kids with. So, what do men have to do? You talked about women. What do men have to do? Where are men falling back?
For me, I feel like,
because some men are to blame too.
It's not what I just said now. What I just explained is literally not even to blame women. Yeah. It's just very simple. That's just the foundation. Is the beginning.
Okay. Hi. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi.
Hi.
Abbas, it's Sam here.
Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Very, very well.
Okay. What's your comment or question for OYEMYKKE?
It's a sad topic, but I wanted to put some my perspective onto it.
Indeed.
I remember about 13 years ago, I used to live in Kennington, central London.
Okay.
And this issue of children becoming rebellious was happening right around my vicinity.
Okay.
And there was a question you asked about what are men doing about this?
Yes.
Right. And that's what I really wanted to address, because when I saw this happening, where I lived was about 15 minutes away from where I worked, so it was super convenient to stay there.
Okay.
But as a man, I had to inconvenience myself and relocate my entire family from Kennington to Kent. That is a power move, man. It wasn't convenient, it wasn't financially rewarding, but I had to take the leadership role because I recognized that in any environment, the children adapt to what they see. So in Nigeria, the younger children adapt to what they see, which is corruption. That's why young people in Nigeria, when you ask them what do you want to be, they say a politician so I can chop money. In this country, what they see glorified is what they are reflecting. And that's why we're getting this surge in these type of crimes. The family unit here is poor. People, young boys respect power. So when a father cannot demonstrate power, cannot lead his family, cannot buy a new house for his family, relies on the state. You see, when a child understands that the house we live in belongs to the state, it's a council flat, they understand that the money you're eating every week is from some form of benefit, the power shifts from that father to somebody that can really buy the trainers, that can really buy the perfume, that can really buy the car. And
So,
that's
in a way,
why these children are emulating what they see glorified on these television programs or what they see on YouTube drills.
So, in a kind of way, your argument almost tallies in a way with what OYEMYKKE is saying in terms of the power pyramid. Do you think there's a collapse of the power pyramid, the black power pyramid, family pyramid?
Do you know what? To take a step further, I actually think that currently that pyramid doesn't actually exist. It didn't, because after the 70s in Nigeria, when poverty came in, the power left. People didn't have that purchasing power. In this country, most people started off, and a lot of people still remain in council flats. See, when people understand the meaning of council flats, initially you can say, I live in a flat. But the moment people know that the flat you live in is owned by the government, your council tax is paid by the government, the letter coming through the door is a benefit check or something. It removes the power from that man or from that woman. So there's no true respect because your father or your mother isn't the true provider of finance for that family. So, and children know. Children are not stupid. They know. They know that, look, if you cut off the government from my dad or my mom, they can't do nothing. That's why they have the audacity to say, I'm going to go and tell the government, because the government is actually providing for our family. We cannot sustain ourselves. So there's an intangible poverty that is actually drawing these children away.
Wow.
So what we're really saying is that economic power is imperative, and that's why earlier someone was making reference to the Asian community.
Yes.
Because they've got power, they've got money, so their children will respect the fathers. But where children cannot respect their fathers, they can't yield to you.
Can I say something quickly, sir?
You don't call the shots. You don't feed them. You're just the in between. The real person feeding them is the government.
Indeed.
That's where there is a massive issue, and that's why people need to focus on economics.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned. Yeah, you want to respond to him?
I love what Sam said, but for me, when I look at the family line, money is very important. I feel like love is more important than money. Yeah, because my mom says something growing up. She says that as long as you can eat every day, life will keep moving. Just keep making sure that you can eat. Make sure that there's food on your table. My mom would say, "Entobalon jelori table organi." That's the word she uses. So that means for you to be able to provide on the table, you're a boss. I feel like it's not really much more about the economy in the family. I feel like that's a very big factor.
It's a very powerful factor, I think.
Yes. But bro, sir,
because
I know
if you look at the span of the growth of a child, you know, it's also in phases, you know, and different phases, different needs, different
things. But sir, if the man is not even there in the first place, you won't worry about money. Don't you get it? The reason he made that move from Kennington to Kent was because he was there to see that this place that we are in is not suitable for us. If it was the woman alone and he wasn't there and they couldn't make that move that was strong, it was two people, we could do it. Let's get it. It's a teamwork. It's really not in the black family. I will not. You need to look outside. Look at your peers. You know what? Don't even look at my generation. Look at your generations. The people that you were in the UK and young together. Look at them. How many of them are with a man? The women that were in your generation. Now, you will not be able to see what their children are doing, but trust me, 80% of their children are not really moving in the best way that they could. A child that the benefit of being able to see their father, learn from their father, or their mother, whichever one that is missing, that they cannot get that, trust me, it's hard. I grew up in a I know what it means. It means small, if don't be God. Me self, I suppose. I have people that fell there.
Thankfully, you did not.
I did not.
Okay, let's move away from that and talk about the issue of Black China. She's going to Nigeria to launch a new product. It's a skin lightening product, and she's doing it in conjunction with Dentsia, who is the owner of the skin lightening brand White Initials. And she put up on her page 2 days ago, and Nigerians have, and that's the story, and Nigerians have fired back. They don't want her coming in to sell skin lightening product.
They do. They are lying.
No, but see, the argument is two ways right now, because there are skin lightening products being sold in Nigeria as we speak right now.
Yes, as of today.
But perhaps they have a problem with a foreigner coming in.
They have a problem with Dentsia.
What's your own opinion?
My opinion is the truth. They have a problem with Dentsia. Is
skin lightening a problem?
That's a different problem. But let's start from the main problem on Nigerians' hearts. Is Dentsia, the lady that is bringing Black China. She's not liked, first of all.
Is there a history of that?
I don't know what she did back in the time, or she's very nonchalant and she's bold. Nigerians don't like when you're bold and nonchalant. And now Dentsia is bringing an even more annoying lady, Black China, to come and sell. So of course it's the haters that are, it's not good, but that's what they all do. If you want to talk about bleaching, that's hundreds of people that bleach in Nigeria.
We need to round up now. Oh yeah, Mike, I wish we had more time. We're going on a break right now, and when we come back, we're going to be meeting our superstar artist that just came into the building.
Okay, we have it in the building.
I can see the vibe on the table. Stay tuned.
Cheese!